All right, so we got through the first half of the verse. Let's talk about the second half of the verse. And just to keep you oriented, if we're in the first verse, this would be the chord progression starting over the line. I can feel this heart beating inside. So you start off on the A chord that we learned before, that kind of funky sounding, slightly dissonant A chord. Okay, and then from there you're going to slide up to, it's really kind of an inverted E chord, but the shape is like this. On your low E string, I've got my pointer finger. It's on the 7th fret, okay, which is producing the note B. And then I mute with my pointer finger, okay, I mute the A string underneath. I don't know if you can hear this. That's the sound of a muted A string. And then underneath that, I'm letting the D ring out as open, the D string. And that's actually producing the note E. Okay, so that's why I'm calling this kind of like an inverted E chord with a B in the bass. Then underneath that is where my ring finger is, which I'll see if I can get my middle finger out of the way. My ring finger's right there. Okay, it is actually all the way up on the 9th fret of the G string, which is another E. Okay, you can hear those E's there in octaves there. And then underneath that you've got another B and you've got another E. So lots of E's and B's in this chord. That only lasts for like a split second. So the way you play it would be like this. And then you're going to go to a different kind of a chord off of that B or inverted E, think of it however you want. Then you're going to a kind of a C sharp chord here, C sharp minor. It's got that sort of quality to it. And to play this chord's real simple. It's just your middle finger and your ring finger. Those are the only fingers that are pressing anything down. My pinky and my pointer finger, I'm just trying to keep them out of the way. And the way you play this chord is everything's up on the 9th fret or ringing open. So here on the low E string, okay, right here, we've got my middle finger fretting the 9th fret. Now that produces the note C sharp. Okay? Then from there, again, I mute the A string, and then I let the D string ring open. And then I go down, and this is where my ring finger is. My ring finger is on the G string. It is also up on the 9th fret, continuing to produce an E. And then of course your bottom open strings are still the same, your high B and your high E. And you produce that sound, okay? So that's those three chords. Now, just in context, here's how that line would go. I can feel this heart beating inside. Okay? I can feel this heart beating inside. That's how that would go. All right, then to come back down off of that, you're going to come to this chord, which is a real interesting chord. It's a kind of another variation of a B chord. And the way I'm playing this chord, again, I'll try to get my middle finger out of the way. Again, your pointer finger and your ring finger, they're the only two fingers that are actually pressing down anything. So I've got my pointer finger back on the low E string, okay, up on the 7th fret, which produces the note B. D string still ringing open. A string is still muted. And your ring finger, okay, right here, it's on the G string. And it's on the 8th fret, okay, the 8th fret. And what that's producing is a D sharp. And then your bottom two strings are B and D. And you get that sound. It's real nice, beautiful open chord sound. All right, so that's that. So that's that first chord coming back down off of the inside. So put those four chords together, and you've got, I can feel this heart beating inside. that's that. I messed the rhythm up a little bit there, but you get the idea. I can feel this heart beating inside. Okay? So those are the chords over the third line. Now, the last thing you got to do to finish off the verse, okay, is you got to go down and you got to get, this is a little tricky because the cut capo's right here, and I've got the cut capo set back from the second fret a little bit because I need to squeeze my finger in there to get a note. I'm going to try to bring it close there. So I've got to actually press here on the second fret. So there's not much room right there, but that's where I've got to press, okay, right there to get an F sharp. Now I've seen in some renditions people leave this little bit out, but I think it's really important because it moves with the melody. So you've just finished up on that real beautiful chord up here. Now for the very last line, for the I don't know when I felt more alive line, this is the fourth line of the verse, you're going to come down and you're going to fret on the E string, low E string. You're going to be pressing the second fret with your pointer finger to produce that F sharp. Okay? And then to include the fifth above that, I take my ring finger right here, and it's on the A string on the fourth fret, pressing right there. Okay? So we're getting those two sounds. And again, this is just kind of a passing thing. I let everything underneath it ring. All right, you get kind of again, a different sort of sound there. And that's, I don't know. That's what that chord covers. I don't know. And then the next two chords are just one finger chords. All right? You're going to go to a G sharp note, which I use my middle finger here. All right? And I go to the fourth fret on the low E string. Everything else, I just let it ring open, except I mute the A string again. Okay? That A string's not getting a lot of love in this song. So I got my G sharp here, and again, kind of a weird sound, but it's more of a passing note. And then I go right here, and I use my ring finger to do this. Again, you could just slide your middle finger up or use your ring finger, whatever's most comfortable for you. I use my ring finger. I put it on the fifth fret on the low E string, and then I mute, again, the A string here. Once again, A string is denied. And that gives me a nice full sounding open A. Okay? And then from there you go back to actually no, I'm sorry, I skipped a chord. So after you do the I don't know when I felt more alive. No, yeah, I guess you do. You go right back to an E. Sorry, I was having a moment there. So that's how that works in context. I don't know when I felt more alive. You go back to that E, and it's that one finger E that we were talking about, where your middle finger or whichever finger you're most comfortable with is going to be on the fourth fret of the G string, producing the note B. And you can just play a nice open chord right there. So the way that that all works together is, if I go all the way back to the start of the third line, it would all go like this together. I can feel this heart beating inside. I don't know when I felt more alive. And then to cap that ending off right there, I usually just throw in that little lick we talked about before, where you're sliding from fourth fret up to sixth fret and back down. Okay, so the whole verse now, we've done all that to get through this first verse. So the whole first verse would sound like this. King of glory, oh my Jesus. You know what? Let me start that over again because that was awful. Oh, let me see. King of glory, oh my Jesus Christ. from what keeps me from your light. I can feel this heart beating inside. I don't know when I felt more alive. Okay, that's how I personally do the first verse. Like I said, it may be some inaccuracies here and there, but it gives you the idea, which is what we're after. So you can use that for the first verse and for the second verse. It's all, the same. So now we need to move on to the chorus section. And so again, I'll give you a little break, come back and practice that whole verse up a little bit, and then we'll start to talk about the chorus. And then from there, the rest of this song becomes pretty simple. And then I'll just rapidly show you it's mostly 1 and 2 finger chords on the I Am a Seed portion of things. So practice up that first verse, and in the next little part here, we're going to talk about how to play the chorus of Oh My God.